What's up, Bassholes? The Basshole Podcast is sponsored by BlueChew. That's right, BlueChew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. That's right, you chew it. We all like to chew on things. You know, they say there's nothing sexier than confidence, and, BlueChew can help give you the confidence where it counts. And let me tell you something, we've got a special deal for our listeners. You can try BlueChew absolutely free when you use our promo code Basshole at checkout. You just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Basshole to receive your first month free. So visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we want to thank BlueChew for sponsoring the podcast. Now, let's meet some Bassholes.
What an asshole!
Podcasting from Basshole Studios in Hollywood, California.
Yo, what time is it?
You're listening to I'm a Basshole with Doug Bass. We've all been one.
He's an asshole.
So let's laugh about it. Now, here's your host, Doug Bass.
Hey, what's up, Bassholes? Welcome to the Basshole Podcast. I'm Doug Bass. Thanks for joining us. Rob DeRocha is here in the studio as well. Follow us on Instagram at Basshole Show. We got a fun, tight episode for you guys today, so we're going to just jump right in. Good. Rob, how you doing, man?
Oh yeah, you know what? Thank you for having me here right now. You know, like this is like alert, like trending news. We gotta talk about this now.
I pressed the red button now, and that signals you to come over. Like
oh
Batman.
really? Yeah, like Batman. Sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just have to say, fuck your Yankees.
Oh yes. Yeah, I'm wearing my Yankees hat, and you got your Dodgers hat.
Yeah, and shirt, and you're not even really a Yankee fan, though, are you?
I grew up watching them. Yeah.
You don't seem too excited.
Well, I'm not a big sports person overall, for sure. We've established that. But I've grown up watching the Yankees as a kid. I went to the games, in high school and stuff like that. So.
Who's your favorite Yankee?
Oh, Don Mattingly back in the day.
Oh, big old Don.
Yeah, right?
I even like Don Mattingly. That guy got the shit end of the stick. I mean, they won the World Series so many years in a row. And then he became a Yankee for what, 20 years?
He was a long time.
Or 15 years, whatever. Never got traded. Nothing.
Loyal Yankee.
Yeah, and never won a World Series. And when he retired, a year later, they started winning with Jeter and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then they went to the new stadium and all that stuff.
Oh, man. Imagine being that guy,
sometimes the good luck stick doesn't go your way, unfortunately.
Well, let's just say that he had a lot of good luck, though, because he was a Yankee for that long.
I know. Look, he's doing fine.
Yeah, exactly. And he became a Dodger coach.
So, he's not struggling. He's doing fine. Yeah.
Became a batting coach or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So good luck to the Dodgers and the Yankees.
What are we going to talk about first? We're going to talk about the comedy fantasy camp or the...
Let's jump right into comedian Tony Hinchcliffe at the Trump rally at Madison Square Garden, which happened yesterday. Let's play a little clip here.
There's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. There's some people here. All right. Very good. I like it. I have other policies that I think it should be implemented as well. Like me personally, I think football should be all year round. Yeah. So many great athletes. I don't know about you guys, but I think that Travis Kelce might be the next O.J. Simpson.
I just don't even know how that's a joke.
All right. I'm not going to play the whole thing. There's other stuff,
I just don't even know how that's a joke.
I mean,
look, I get it. Listen, we're two comics,
right?
Nowhere near to his level of fame. We don't have Rogan as a best friend. I wish your podcast was as big as Rogan. And
it will be one day.
Yeah. Let's be serious, all right?
I am being serious.
We got like 4 people listening right now.
Hey, man, this Hinchcliffe's on the way out after this.
No, he's not, though. He was doing this rhetoric way beforehand.
Well, here's the thing. Whose idea was it to book him for this convention? I mean, the speaking gig.
I would think it was the campaign because they all eat it up. Pat McAfee had him on the show.
But like, are they like proofreading like what's going on the teleprompter?
Yeah, they did.
So they were fine with that joke?
No,
because immediately afterwards they're like, we don't agree with this joke or whatever.
Exactly. You know what's funny about it is that they did the fact that they say they don't agree with the joke, but yet they read it beforehand because there was a joke in there where Kamala was called the C word. And they told him to take that part out.
Take that out. Yeah,
they're
and
like,
then
hey, that's too far.
And he had the other joke about the Latinos, like they like to have kids. There's no pulling out.
Pulling out. They like to come inside your country.
I'm surprised they let him say that. Like, I mean, I know it's like a tongue in cheek or whatever, but
hey,
like,
listen,
like,
as a Latino, yes, pulling out is one of my favorite things to do. But I don't like to come inside and destroy your country.
What do you think about that joke as a Latino?
I thought it was all right for that setting. I would say that's all right, but at the same time, you're destroying the Latino community. So, I mean, I get it. But he was pandering to his audience,
right? But the Puerto Rico thing, I mean, that did not go well at all. And you know, I mean, I've been to Puerto Rico 5 times, and it's lovely. It's beautiful. People are great.
He even came out and said he vacations
there. I know, I saw that,
and
but it's like, I think it was too late. No one gave a shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
I don't know. He went into, like, the thing was that there's a difference between comedy. Who the fuck am I? Right, but there's a difference between like insult comedy and being funny, right?
Well, that's
like,
the thing. This is not the stage for this. I don't think. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's you know. I mean, obviously they have all these characters they're speaking and stuff like that. And
did he go into Asians not knowing how to drive? I
no,
mean, he was
he
doing all
do
80s.
I didn't even know he was a big Trump supporter. Really, to be honest with you.
You didn't?
I didn't. I mean, I don't really. I don't really pay attention to him that much, to be honest with you. But because I think he's.
I don't pay attention to him
I think he's just a whiny little bitch of a comic, kind of, if you want to call him that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like, he's a roast comic, so it's like, you know, I mean, what do they expect when they hire him to do this thing, or you know?
I don't know what they expected. I don't think they expected it to go that far. And who knows if this is going to change the outcome of the election.
And it's not a comedy club. It's like it's MSG, and it's like, you know, it's like all these people are here during the day. It's not his audience. It was
5,000 white trash minimum, I guess.
Right, yeah, they're comparing it to the Nazi rally back in
1939. Where the rally was held. And but the thing that I think was offensive was the fact that he was doing like carving watermelon.
Oh,
like,
yeah, he's his black friend for Halloween. They carved watermelons.
Carving watermelon.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like that Puerto Rico joke could really affect the voters, the Puerto Rican voters.
It could.
Say, you know?
I mean,
I don't know.
Listen, I have family that is voting for Trump, and they're Latino.
Yeah, my parents are voting.
I mean, but they're white.
Yes, they're very white.
Yeah, I can see why they're voting.
I mean, yeah, they're like boomer Republicans from North
exactly.
Jersey.
No, these are people that barely even speak English, and they're still voting for Trump, and they see Trump as like some like savior of some sort. They've drank the Kool-Aid, and I just love the fact that people are getting mad. Here's the thing. Everyone's saying free speech. That's their number one thing they say, free speech. But whenever Trump gets upset about something that's said in the media, he says that they should be taken down. CBS should lose their license because of the 60 Minutes thing. But it's like, how is that not free speech then? Elon and everyone else that talks about free speech. It's free speech unless you're making fun of Trump.
Well, that's the thing. It's like he goes in there.
Elon's the same way, by the way.
He goes in there with jokes and stuff. He's insulting the people. He's not necessarily, not insulting Trump or anything like that. Or he's not roasting Trump or like people that are there speaking for the most part. He's roasting potential voters and people of the country and stuff like that, and it's in poor taste for that event. I would say it's not your Kill Tony audience or comedy show.
I just love how comics are like, oh, he's a comedian, he could say whatever he wants, it's just jokes. It's like, but it wasn't funny, and we have the free speech to criticize it.
Right, exactly.
If you're gonna put yourself in front of everyone like that, then just take it up the fucking butt or whatever else, like you whatever you're gonna say, it's gonna come back. And to think that he didn't think that, he didn't think this through, like everyone's talking about it. Look, we're talking about it.
I know, and he loves that because people yesterday were like, who's Tony Hinchcliffe? A lot of people would say, you know what I mean? And
well, I mean, he was on the Tom Brady roast. He made a name for himself on that.
But there's a lot of people that did not know who he was. Right. And now he's on CNN and Fox and all those news channels and shit. Now people are saying his name. Like, who is this? Like Tim Waltz was like, who's this jackwad? Like after he watched Jackwad.
Yeah, but this is what yeah, exactly, jackwad. But what I find funny is that Tony went back at Tim Waltz and said, it blows my mind. I forgot what it said.
Yeah,
it blows my mind.
Yeah, he said, it blows my mind that you
The vice president candidate
has the time to criticize my jokes or something like that. I don't know.
Hey, idiot! You're at a campaign rally.
Right.
What do you mean it blows your mind? Everyone's talking
Everyone's
about
gonna
you,
watch
idiot.
it. Everyone's gonna watch it.
Like, how does that blow you? And then he throws in a stupid hack tampon joke. Go put on a tampon.
Take your tampon out or put it in.
But isn't he the one being sensitive by reacting to his comments?
Again, he's a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, like he
Tony
doesn't.
Hinchcliff.
Dude, here, let me tell you a story about.
Have you ever met him or dealt with him at all?
I've met him, and I can say this is what's funny to me is years ago when he got his first Netflix special, he recorded at the Ice House, and the Ice House is notorious for just having the greatest crowds. Laughs at everything. It's almost
it's a great club. Yeah.
It's a gift. It's not. It's a horrible gift. It's a curse if you're able to perform in front of that crowd and bomb.
Yeah.
He's the only comedian. Not only. I've seen others. Only comedian I've ever seen on his special perform there and not do well. It was so bad. And he had a bunch of openers open up for him. No, not a bunch, but it was a few openers. They all did. They crushed it.
I've never seen his like material or set besides his roasting jokes or Kill Tony, so I don't really know what his like what a regular set would be from him.
I don't know. Norm Macdonald called him out because during his special at the Ice House, it was something about like burying somebody, and Norm Macdonald like said, "Hey," he like messaged Rogan, like, "Hey, this guy's doing some of my jokes. I heard he's part of your group. Yeah, it was. You can look it up.
Right.
And it's funny to me that like Rogan's like, no, he didn't steal it. Tony's not a thief, but maybe he did. Maybe he fucking did.
I could totally see that. He's a little weasel, it seems like. And then Trump was on Rogan on Friday, and
I can't even listen.
I watched that, but it was like Rogan doesn't really come out and say he supports Trump, though. I mean, I think he does, but he hasn't really endorsed him.
I think Rogan's more of a chameleon, and whoever is on his show, he kind of sides with, and he doesn't really push back on.
And that's smart because, I mean, look, he's got a lot of the Trump audience, I'm imagining, but he's also got a lot of, the other side, too. And it's like, to really put yourself out there and endorse one person, you could lose a chunk of your audience, and he's smart to not do that.
I think it's bullshit because he always talks about the truth and finding out the truth, but then so many times on his show he puts up something up there like, what was it when he said Biden said that there was airplanes in an airport during the Civil War, and then it turned out that it was actually Trump, that it was Trump that said it, not Biden. But it's just like it happens more than a few times on his show where like he's always looking for the truth, but then he's spilling out bullshit.
It was a
lies.
3-hour interview, and Trump did most of the talking, and they talked about UFC for like 20 minutes. And,
but he should have, like when he talked about the election, he's like, when are you going to provide this evidence?
Yeah.
He's like, I got papers, lots of papers.
He starts to answer it, and then he weasels out of it and goes on a journey.
He goes on a weave.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the weave, and then like even Trump. Like Rogan's laughing at him. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I just seen clips, but it's just funny to me how no one sees that. Like if you're a Trump voter and you see that, and then you still can't provide the evidence. Like you would think that he would have that on his cell phone and be like, "Here you go. Like these are pictures of the evidence.
Have the documents.
I have the documents. I would, if I was Trump, I would carry it in a briefcase wherever I went, just to prove."
He started talking about the JFK files that he wants to release those if he becomes president again.
Right.
And then Rogan was interested in that, as we all are. And he's like, "What's in it?" He's like, "What can I tell you?" He's like, he kind of was like, and he's like, I can't really go into much. Obviously, he's like, there's some people that are still alive, and he's like, we're not going to release it until they're deceased or something.
This is what I hate about the whole camp. This is what I hate about all of this is the camp of it all is like there's QAnon, there's all these conspiracy theorists, and they all say that the reason as soon as Trump is president, he's going to release the Jeffrey Epstein files and the client list and all this stuff.
Yep.
But look. He was president for those 4 years when Epstein went to jail and didn't do anything.
No, he wouldn't talk about it.
He owns Epstein's plane, the plane that Epstein Lolita Express. That is the plane that Trump is flying around the country in. And you know what else?
Is that the same plane?
It's the same exact plane. It's come out there. It's a fact. This is not a conspiracy.
And then Melania shows up at the rally yesterday. Finally, she's been in hiding for like months.
And did you see the way they were kissing?
No, she didn't kiss him. They did the Italian kiss on the cheek, but it was like an air kiss. And I posted a video on my story yesterday because I was filming it while I was watching it. I was like, yeah, she won't even kiss the guy. Like,
I was embarrassed for him.
Oh my
like,
God.
that's your wife.
It's like not even a peck on the lips or a real peck on the cheek or nothing. It's so obvious. It's so weird. It's so forced. It's like if he wins, she's there for the next 4 years. If he loses, she's divorcing him. He's gonna get in prison, or she's gonna divorce him or whatever.
I don't know if he'll ever go to prison. Let's be honest.
But you think she's leaving if he doesn't win?
I mean, I think so. I don't know for a fact.
Yeah,
I mean, why?
I would think
she's
so.
probably leaving with a fucking
Boatload of money. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Here, like back to the Epstein list though. When he was interviewed on Fox, they were interviewing him and they asked him like, "Would you release the client list?"
Yeah.
Because they were asking like, "Would you release the JFK? Would you release?" He's like, yeah, totally. I would. As soon as they got to the Epstein list, like he paused and he's just like,
because he's on that.
"It's gonna, yeah, exactly."
He's got a lot to do with
It's
that.
gonna affect a lot of people in
Like-
a lot of
like
bad
me.
ways. Like a lot of bad ways. There's a lot of phonies. That's what he said. The word phonies. There's a lot of phony list out there. You know,
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
what.
right.
Like, and that's what it annoys me so much about these people that support him and they talk about the Epstein list and all that. But when you watch that, they're like okay with it.
Oh my God, no, it's ridiculous. It's like and now they're gonna divert it to like the P Diddy list if that ever comes out. But it's like
It just goes on.
it does go on
in
and on. It's ridiculous,
circle.
and it's like here's Tim Waltz watching the Tony Hinchcliffe thing. Let's see. Oh wait, maybe this doesn't work. Let me see. Does this work?
It really, really is. And, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're
I don't
getting
know
there.
what podcast
No-
this is, but
Who is that jackwad? Who is that guy?
I actually think that's Tony Hinchcliffe, which is super disappointing. I mean, I don't. He's a comedian.
How is it disappointing, Alexander?
I don't
Yeah, but
follow
look,
this
Trump-
like
This
crew
issue
very
with Puerto
closely,
Rico
but-
again. I saw it. This was when he went down after Helene, the horrific hurricane. People there, everybody coming together. We sent helicopters down from Minnesota and personnel. You know how you do this during this. And in the first hours, Trump complaining about the response. Does anybody remember how he responded to Maria in Puerto Rico?
yeah.
Yeah.
Remember he showed up with the paper towels.
Yeah, and he
shit, was
shot it
throwing-
like a
was-
bank shot,
like
like
at a
Kobe.
like at a ball game. He was
Yeah.
like handing out T-shirts and shit. Like it was that was ridiculous. But like
I think he had one of those guns and he was just shooting paper towels. Here we go.
Paper towel gun. Yeah. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I mean the election is next week. It's election season.
It's gonna be a great election.
And there's already fraud going on. There's ballots that were burned voting ballot boxes up in
calculated.
Portland, I believe.
Yep, it's calculated, and also happened in Arizona.
Yep.
It's all calculated. They're all
And
doing this.
There's going to be much more of this happening throughout the week, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Like they're going to find people, dismantling voting boxes or burning them or whatever. It's sick. It's getting
Here's
crazy.
here's another thing that's a fact that people like. If people listen to this and if it becomes a clip, I know people are just going to attack me because that's what they always do on here. But it's funny to me that there is voter fraud.
Right.
It's just we're whatever.
There's fraud with everything.
Yeah, there was fraud. People fraud, but the people that were caught doing the voter fraud were fucking Republicans. Most of them were.
I know.
A majority of them were. Trump tried to send fake electors. Do you understand that, people? Get it through your fucking head. Fake electors. Trump also put out people that were working in the elections. They were working with the people that he put out their names, and then they were sent like hatred, and then they had to move because people were coming at them. Trump supporters. That's what Trump does. He gets the names of the people, he releases it, and his supporters do his bidding.
Yeah, they're like his puppets, pretty much. Extensions of him.
It is like a mafioso thing. He doesn't have to like really tell them what to do.
No,
He's just
they
like
just
he's
do
just
it.
like. Her name is Hillary, whatever, Clinton, whatever. I don't know. Like her name.
I mean, it's. I mean, I don't know. Like next week is either it's going to be crazy. I don't know what's going to happen.
I know what's going to happen. The election is not going to be over, and it's going to probably take at least weeks for it to be over.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of fraud.
Because no one's bowing out this time.
No,
right? even if it's close.
The Republicans have put things in place in different places, like especially in the swing states, to try to make sure the election goes their way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the fact that like Pence is out there saying like you shouldn't vote for this guy. I ran with him for 4.
Right.
I worked with him for 4 years.
I know the real him.
Yeah, like what is it? 41 out of 45.
No one's listening
Trump.
to him though. It's like it's like no one takes him serious at all. I mean, I don't think they took him serious when he was vice president, but like
it was a day of love. It was a day of love.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like really like hang Mike Pence.
Exactly.
Hang Mike Pence.
I mean,
hang Mike. He couldn't do what he was supposed to. He was on Theo Von's podcast and saying like he couldn't do what he was supposed to do.
I know.
Like what was he supposed to do? What was he supposed to do?
Even
Trump?
Theo Von's podcast, like you know, like I feel like he just kind of sat there too and just lip serviced him, and it's like they're thankful that he's on their podcast because of the ratings and whatever, but like. It's just like Theo Von just sitting there, like, you know, he's got a couple questions and then Trump just like steamrolls it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then
crazy.
he just lets him keep on talking.
Right.
And then if you have any questions,
and that's why Trump will go on, because like, you know, it's like if Trump goes on like a Stern or something like that, forget it. You know, it's gonna be a fucking argument.
Oh,
you know.
Well, I think if he went on Stern, that'd be freaking amazing.
It would be, but
he would just walk out.
He's not gonna do it
because he wouldn't be able to handle Stern
because he knows Stern's a Kamala supporter, so he's not even gonna entertain the idea. But like, you know, Rogan is trying to get Kamala on his podcast still.
Is
he?
he?
Yeah, he said he's like I want to have her on, and I just want to have a conversation with her. Like there's just two people. Like, who are you? You know, like you know, we know about your policies and stuff, but like I don't want to get into that. I just want to know who you are.
I don't know. That might be a setup. You know, because I mean, look. They're trying to say so many things, like take away your guns, this and that. It's like that's not true. She owns a Glock. She even says like
she's pro gun. Yeah,
she's pro gun. You know, pro like defending yourself. There's just so many people like people that I've worked with in El Paso that are friends with me on Facebook, and they get mad at my, you know, like what was it? They got mad at something I posted about. Oh, the taxes. You know, like taxes. The tariffs is something else.
He wants to do tariffs.
Yeah, but that led into a recession back in the 80s or whatever it was. So you're going to do these tariffs, and I'm not an expert, so I can't say exactly what would happen. But I just know for a fact that if you're going to put these tariffs on these countries, it's going to fuck us over more than anything else. Because no one's getting American goods. No one wants them. The only American goods people like from other countries are our movies. And so far, they're even doing their own movies.
That's true. Like, they don't need us anymore. I mean, especially with all the streaming capabilities and everything. It's
exactly.
Like,
they don't.
Studios are everywhere. They don't need us.
Exactly. You know, I mean, they're saying that LA is going to be the next Detroit because of the movies. It was like, we're not. We're not. You know what, you idiot? We have the greatest weather. Our weather is not like Detroit. Get that through your head. That's not going to happen. People are still moving here because this is a beautiful fucking city. California is beautiful. So like,
it is beautiful. Detroit really doesn't have much.
Yeah, it's fucking cold. Yep. Should I call it a dumpster fire? No.
I've never been there.
I heard it's getting better. I don't know.
I'm not going to badmap it because I've never been. But
should we just shit on it like they shit on Puerto Rico?
Maybe we should go there. I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe we should go check it out.
Yeah, maybe.
Get in a gunfight.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know what's going to happen to Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Nothing's going to happen. Look, we're talking about it. He's
actually happy that everyone's talking about him today,
yeah, he's making millions. He's making great money.
Right.
And he's already had like specials, this and that. He's probably got another special coming out.
Exactly.
You know, like Anthony Jeselnik, at least when he does his jokes, it's funny. You know what I mean? Like it's just. It goes into a topic. Bill Burr goes into a topic. People hate, call him a misogynist, this and that. But he goes into it. People get kind of shocked at first. But the thing is, with these jokes that he did at this campaign rally, if you want to call it that, it was just horrible.
He was the first one up.
Yeah,
right? And so he opened the whole thing. So it was kind of like
with racist banter.
It was just a weird choice. Like, let's open the whole thing with Tony Hinchcliffe. Like, I get it because he just warmed up the crowd. I mean, I don't even know if he did that, but it's just an odd choice to start the thing with him, I would think. I don't know who made that decision, but
someone did.
They're probably fired.
They read his jokes. I mean, they read what he was going to say.
I know. Anyway.
That's what I love that they're backtracking. They're saying we didn't know he was going to, because they found out that 4% of Pennsylvania, I think, were they in New York or Pennsylvania?
The rally?
Yeah. That was in New York,
that was
right?
in
Madison Square Garden. Yeah. What was it? I think in Pennsylvania is like 4%.
4% is
Puerto Rican, yeah. Puerto Rican.
That's what, like 500,000
yeah,
votes?
500,000 votes. Yeah.
So that can affect the
I don't think it's going to affect it because people, I'm sorry, but it's just so ignorant right now how people just don't realize the rhetoric that is being said, and it's always being pointed at the Democrats about how their rhetoric is bad, like he's going to destroy our country. Trump says that all the time. It's like everyone holds Trump to like a certain standard, like it doesn't matter what he says, and then Kamala just laughs, and then it's like, oh, look at her laugh.
That's the other thing that they're saying is that Kamala has to still be held at that higher standard, where if she says something wrong or doesn't give an answer, she's penalized, and Trump can just say whatever he wants, and he gets a pass almost.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly, and that's what's fucked up right now, and I can't stand it. Just listening to everyone just saying the same thing, and I talk to so many Trump supporters. I know so many of them, and I try, like, my algorithm is so fucked up on Facebook and on Twitter. I get all the Trump stuff. I get all the conspiracy stuff.
That's because you're posting all that stuff.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand why people want to vote for this person.
Right. No, I get it. I don't understand.
They say you have Trump derangement syndrome. You have Trump Stockholm syndrome.
I think they're just idiots, is what I think. No offense to the people listening.
But that's the thing is you can't talk to them that way because then they get offended. They get mad.
Well,
and then
let them get offended. I mean, sound off on the comment section if you want. I don't know. Look, red or blue or red, whatever you decide. Blue is what we're talking about today because the Dodgers and the Yankees have a shade of blue as well, I would say, and that means BlueChew. Let's just talk about our sponsor real quick. BlueChew. You're going to want to take BlueChew for the World Series this week, possibly. Don't have
if you don't have a bat, you got one.
Yeah, you got to have a heavy bat. And by bat, I mean your dick. I'm talking about. Take a.
I think they got that part.
Take a BlueChew and hit a home run tonight with your lady. Whether you're rooting for the Yankees or the Dodgers, you're going to use promo code Basshole at BlueChew.com. You're going to get your first month free. That's right. You're going to pay just $5 shipping, and you get your first month free of BlueChew. Use promo code Basshole at BlueChew.com, and do yourself a favor and hit a home run with your woman tonight.
Yeah, man. Take that BlueChew and be like, A-Rod's coming to bed.
Dude. Yeah, right?
Clean up hitter.
Hit a grand slam.
Clean up after your mess.
Like Freeman, Like, come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
Like Freeman, huh? Yeah. Wasn't that great?
Yeah, that was a great game. I do hope we have another great game.
I almost
like
teared
that.
up watching that.
It was a great game.
It was one of those moments where, like, I just remember it. I know I posted about it, but it was just like very much like that Celine Dion song. It's all coming back to me because it was like 1988 again, and I felt like I was a kid again.
That would have been the game to be at. That was a. Yeah, I mean the second game was not as exciting, obviously. But,
it was exciting.
It was. All right.
It was.
I mean, not compared
we
to the
lost
first
Showtime, and then he got hurt, and then we're like, oh,
yeah.
Then
He's
they loaded
right,
the
though,
bases
right?
up.
He's good
man.
To go today. Yeah, right.
I was freaking out. My heart was pounding.
I just hope we have some some more exciting games. Like tonight's game, I hope it's close again.
Nah.
Well, don't you enjoy watching a game like that? That's on the edge of your seat.
I just want it to be over.
Right? You want it to be over. You're not even enjoying it. You're not even enjoying. I
have too much anxiety. Every single time I watch the Dodger game, it's 3 hours of anxiety.
Yeah.
You know why? Because first of all, we hadn't won a World Series since 1988. We won in 2020, right?
When no one was there.
Right.
I remember watching that.
Here's the problem I have. There's so many people that talk shit about the Dodgers winning that World Series.
Why?
Because they say that it was the Mickey Mouse World Series. It was in Disneyland, like the Disneyland Resort, whatever. They just say that it shouldn't count. The Lakers and the Dodgers both won that year. And people just shit on it.
Because there was no crowds or no fans?
Yeah, but what cracks me up is I think it was harder to win then. And second of all, everybody was competing. So does that mean your team didn't want to win the championship that year because they weren't trying as hard?
It's interesting. People are saying like that year didn't exist in society. Like 2020 didn't happen. Because we were all locked up in a bubble, whatever. Yeah,
that's why they want to put an asterisk next to it. But it's like, dude, do you know how much harder it is for an NBA player or a baseball player to play in front of empty stands and it's just you and your team and that is it?
Yeah, that's going to be boring.
And billboards and cardboard box cutouts.
I mean, at that moment, it probably really feels like work, you know? Like, I mean, it's still work, obviously, but like when the crowd is there, it's exciting, it's fun, you know? It's probably, I mean, yeah, when you're doing it, it's just like, it's like routine, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, doing a normal job that like, sucks or whatever.
Right,
probably.
exactly.
Yeah.
But people fucking shit on it all the time. And I mean, like, what was it? The Boston Celtics recently posted up their championship banner. And then under it, it said the Lakers, like it said 2020, the Lakers, and it said that was the Mickey Mouse.
Oh, really?
It like trolling.
Why are they calling it Mickey Mouse?
Because my mic is, by the way, I don't know. It's on. Hello? Is it on?
Yeah, I hear it.
Okay.
Maybe your headphones are.
I can't hear it. It said the Mickey Mouse. They call it the Mickey Mouse Championship.
All right, that's interesting.
It's so petty and stupid.
Yeah.
And I just get annoyed by these other fans that say that. It's like, oh, that year didn't count. And like, you're an idiot. You know? Do you know how important that was for me for those teams to win that championship?
That year meant a lot
I was
to me,
watching it the entire time.
That year meant a lot to me. It did exist that year for everyone.
That was the only thing to watch on TV. That wasn't a rerun.
I started this podcast during that year.
Yeah, exactly.
See? I'm glad that year happened. I probably wouldn't be doing this right now. All right, and then we got to talk about real quick the Comedy Fantasy Camp. Yeah, so we did the Comedy Fantasy Camp episode. We interviewed Rico, who was a student, and that guy Sean Ridgway, who was a student as well, or camper. You can't call them students really. And then I interviewed David Fishoff, who's the co-creator of the Comedy Fantasy Camp. And you know, people seem to enjoy the interview and stuff, but David reached out to me the other day and he emailed me and he said, Doug, I don't understand how come you're posting such bad things about our comedy camp. What did I do to you personally that you're looking to hurt me? I came on your podcast to tell my story, and I thought I was able to share my side, and you're supposed to be a journalist, and you keep trying to badmouth us. What's happening here that I'm not understanding? David, first of all, I'm a podcaster, not a journalist.
Are you sure this sounds good right now?
Yeah. It's yeah.
Okay.
Your headphones are probably just loose or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a podcaster, not a journalist. I have an opinion going into the thing to begin with, you know, which I fully grounded my point of view on it, and you know, it was a good interview. He stated his side. If I was a journalist, I would have, you know, no feeling about it. I would just conduct an interview. I reposted it because they're having this camp again. They're doing it again in January, the third one, and you know, I mean, like we all discussed, it's kind of a load of shit. It's a scam, I think, you know.
Well, here's the thing that you didn't really ask him in the interview, and this is what David, if you're listening, because we don't have a lot of listeners anyway. So if you're like the listener number 5, I guess.
Doubt he's listening.
He's probably listening to this. The fact is, David, that you say fantasy camp, and in there it says learn. The word learn is in there. You don't teach anybody anything. You haven't taught anybody anything. What you do is, and it shows by the end of the last comedy day, the comedy class, the show that you guys put on. I mean, even Corolla was talking shit and about these people that were going up and had no clue what they were doing.
We went over
They
that
weren't
with him,
funny at all.
Yeah, Sean Ridgway's whole set was the roast of the whole experience, which pretty much ripped it apart. I mean, it went pretty well as a set, but you know, it's a one-time thing. But yeah, he was honest. He was honest in his set, and he got laughs from, you know, his fellow campers or whatever.
Exactly, but what I don't get is like, change it.
Yeah,
actually show these people something. Maybe don't take so many clients. Maybe do it like a shorter period of time. Maybe you know, like maybe do 3 classes in 1 year, and then actually teach these people something.
He did say,
get him the Judy Carter comedy Bible.
He did say that they were trying to change things and getting feedback from the first 2 and stuff like that. But still, like they're charging $5,000 for this thing. It's like that shit should already be in place.
$5,000.
I know, and like
$5,000.
and like
to
you know,
what?
you know, and I got into it with him with like, you know, the extra $1,000 for that agent dinner. That like, you know, it's like why are these people meeting agents when they never fucking picked up a mic?
David,
you know what I mean?
I could start my own comedy fantasy camp, and I could just like say, hey, meet me at the Improv once a week for you know, and then we'll just watch comedy and we'll hang around other comics that are famous at the bar or the Laugh Factory or whatever, and hang out there, and then it'll be the same thing as your comedy camp because you're not teaching shit. You're just, I don't understand how you say that.
He's saying that he
Learn.
teaches stuff. Yeah, like,
He doesn't teach
one's they didn't
anything.
even have the writers' workshop that they promised the first camp. That didn't even exist, like Sean Ridgway mentioned.
Yeah, and then what was it? Rico was saying about the whole like the person that was teaching it was like 3 years into comedy or something like that.
I don't know who it was, but yeah, it was it's like newer comics that they're giving them a job for the fucking week or whatever to mentor these people, which I don't know why they're doing it. But then you have people like Carolla showing up late, or like barely there, and Leno's involved.
It's a
now
money
they
grab.
have Brad Williams, and I don't know. who else, but
I
yeah.
don't get why these people are even doing it, or like
They're
they
giving
should
him
just.
they're giving him a check, and they're just like
Giving.
come for
I
a day,
understand.
and it's
I
like,
understand that, but it's at least like look, if I was a famous comedian and I was there and like they gave me money, which would be great, but I would.
They might after your review of the thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, but I would do it, and then I would actually feel bad, and I would try to like help give advice to like comics and tell them about like, hey, within your first couple moments, like you got to have like something like a joke. You got to have like things in your arsenal. Like you got to be like a gunslinger out there, man. Like you can't just. You can't just like say, hey, go up there and do 3 minutes and then be criticized. Do you know how embarrassed that guy must be that he was on the Adam Carolla podcast and then they air that clip?
I know. Well, Adam made fun of that whole thing, and it's like they filmed everything, but then only certain people got to go up and do it. So it's like it's just a scam. It's a shit show. Anyway, David,
I don't know why he thinks that you're a journalist too. And
I never said I was a journalist. I mean, I went in there already bad mouthing it, and he watched. Here's the thing: he watched the interview we did with Rico, where we ripped it apart pretty much with Rico and stuff, and he asked me to come on. Like I never reached out to him and begged him to come on. He emailed me being like, "I'd like to come on and give my side of the story," and I was like, "Yeah, sure."
But what is his side of the story?
His side of the story, it's a fantasy camp. And I get it. The word fantasy is in it, yes. But like the thing that was fucked up is that he's saying he's advertising like there's only 15 spots left. And that makes it sound like
is he doing that again right now?
I don't know. I mean, like if only 15 spots he put, you know what I mean? Like, and like if you're paying $5,000, you'd think like, oh, only 15 people. That makes sense for that amount of money, But then you get there and there's 80 people, and he's like, I never said there was 15 spots. Like, are you delusional? I'm like, well, here's the copy of the email that Rico got. Like, that's why he signed up for it.
Oh, you showed him the fucking receipts?
Yeah, I had the fucking pages in front of me and shit or whatever. But it's like, and then
what did he say to that?
I don't know. He's like, it should have said loud. He's like, I'm like, look, for this kind of thing, your wording in advertisement is very important for this kind of thing.
I guarantee he's voting for Trump.
Probably.
Because you show him receipts and he's just like, nah, that's not what I said.
Yeah,
that's not what I said. It's like,
exactly.
It's like, come on, man. Like I just don't understand how you could sleep at night doing that.
He's a character. I think he means well, but he's he's a business guy. He
seems like a nice guy. I just don't understand how he doesn't understand what our criticism is. Like he should just maybe like say, oh, you know what? I'll make it better this year. This year I'm gonna have.
And I do think that they are trying to improve on certain things that didn't go well. I'll give him the fact of that, but. I think he's also pissed that we have some negative podcasts out there about this thing, negative press, and he can't do anything about that. He can't take these down. And if someone Googles the shit, they'll find this eventually.
Well, I mean, listen, David, I'm going to tell you right now that I think we're going to have some people from this year's class.
Yeah. We're going to
come on to the show.
We'll have them come on after. I'll go recruit them. Yeah.
And then we'll ask them what their experience was this time around.
Yeah. And maybe it's better because you said that there was repeat people coming back. And if there are repeat people taking it twice, 3 times, then all right, obviously they like it and it's for them. But at the same time, comics here in LA were getting lumped into this thing. It wasn't just comics coming from the Midwest or Florida or whatever for a vacation. It was people here that were actually trying to get better in comedy and do it, not just fucking around. So anyway. I don't know. The comedy fantasy camp. Whatever. It's coming back in January.
David, come on.
We'll have a follow-up.
Come back on, David. I don't know. Tell us your side.
We've had enough with it.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, the Yankees and the Dodgers are going to play tonight. Good luck to both teams. Go Yankees.
Go Dodgers.
Yankees.
Dodgers.
What else? Anything else? I don't know.
That's it, man.
That's it. All right. This is a short podcast. We're going to be back next week with, I think we're going to do a live election night show.
Are we doing a live one? Are we going to wear suits?
November 5th.
Are we wearing suits?
I don't know. You want to?
I don't know. I think we should dress up for the occasion.
Dress up. You can dress up as Trump.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I was actually gonna, because I'm doing a Trump sketch after this. I was gonna actually dress up for Trump as this, but I didn't know if I was gonna make it.
You should dress up next week as him. We're gonna have martinis. We're gonna do a live election show November 5th at 6 p.m. Pacific. I think that's gonna happen. I'll double check, but I think we should do that. Why not? Why the fuck not? Let's do it on a Tuesday live. We'll do it live.
Tuesday.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Remember, don't be a basshole. We're going to be in San Diego November 10th at the Yellow Door. Basshole show tickets are on sale now. And then back at the Improv November 27th. All right, guys, don't be a basshole. But if you are, laugh about it. Ciao.
You've been listening to I'm a Basshole with Doug Bass. Follow us on Instagram at Basshole Show. Think you deserve to be on the show? Email us at contact@bassholeshow.com and visit our website at www.bassholeshow.com and get the latest information. Subscribe on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast fix. And don't miss the full videos on YouTube. Remember, don't be a basshole, but if you are, laugh about it. We'll see you next time.